This is the story of my family. That's me, Marjorie Protein. And that's John Deere Protein, my wonderful husband. And these are our children. Alanine was the firstborn out of the octuplets. Then it was valine, leucine, isoleucine, proline, methionine, phenylalanine, and tryptophan. Next were my septuplets, starting with glycine, then serine, threonine, cysteine, asparagine, glutamine, and tyrosine. Then I had triplets starting with lysine, then arginine, and histidine. Finally, I had the twins, aspartic acid and glutamic acid. If you've lost count, that is a grand total of 20. And yes, I delivered every one of them. Because we are 9 times the size of an average family, we do things a little differently. It isn't always easy, but somehow we make it all work. So there are a lot of curious people that want to know how we function in our daily lives and our routines. So we decided that we would invite y'all into our home and let y'all see just what it's like to live in the Protein home.
Obviously, our lives are very different. It takes a lot to get going in the mornings with 22 people. There's a lot of things you don't think about, like feeding, bathing, and transportation.
Oh yeah. We do have a unique bunch of children. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We'll start from the outside and work our way in.
Like I said, we have a big family, so we gotta start bright and early. Me and Marjorie have our own bathroom, so we get up before everyone else. So it's about 5 a.m. right now, and we're gonna go wake up all the kids. All right, everyone, get up, get up. Alanine, Alanine.
No, watch out! Watch out for the water potty!
Come on, kids.
No! It's odd, but for some reason, alarms don't wake me up, and I just don't hear them, and I'll sleep right through them. So Papa has to come in every morning and slap me to get up. Isn't that right? Yeah. Oh.
We don't have beds for everyone, so they turn sleeping on the bed and the couch. Some of them prefer to sleep on the floor. Time, shower time.
Oh.
You sound like you.
Alright, we get Wow, water! I love water! I love the shower!
I got ran over!
Yeah, we're gonna One unique thing about my children is that my octuplet children are hydrophobic. They are deadly afraid of water. So you can imagine how difficult it is to get them clean in the morning. They usually just wipe themselves down with a damp rag.
Shower time, everyone.
No. Okay.
Children.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Hurry up!
Alright,
What's taking so long?
Need more water.
I come in. That's where I always felt first.
It's really hard, you know. All I want to do is drink it, and I want to bathe in it, and I want to swim in it. It's like an addiction.
It's like the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's an unquenchable thirst. Oh boy.
Get it?
Usually for breakfast we just have Pop-Tarts. They're relatively inexpensive and the kids just seem to love them. We buy about 20 boxes a week.
Well, maybe we could have less than I'm really comfortable holding this.
It's so bad.
Do you think this has water in it?
I love tarts. I really love Pop-Tarts. I love them so much. I eat them every day.
Okay, that is wrangle. Those are wrangle. Here you go. You're gonna see whether you roll. 60% water all the time.
It's not bad. It's right. You can watch it later. It's coming back.
We're just supposed to eat something.
Oh,
Oh, because I definitely want water for real. Even whatever.
After breakfast, I teach all of my children. We have school while John Deere goes to work. It's interesting because I had all of my children consecutively, so they're all very close in age, so we can stay in the same classroom. The past week we've been studying family history, and today we're going to continue with that lesson.
My professor like randomly draws like people. Yeah, and then it's good. So I got drawn.
Great. Now that I have everyone's attention, we're going to start today's lesson. This lesson is more of a review for those that didn't quite pick up on the concepts and details of the lessons last week. So we're going to get started. Okay, who can tell me what a protein is? Go ahead, Lysine.
Proteins are macromolecules made up of usually 300 or more amino acids. The order, number, and type of amino acid determines the function and structure of the protein, and the amino acids are held together by peptide bonds. What up? Yeah! That was great! Okay, now can you tell me what the first structure of protein is? Aspartic acid?
The primary structure. It is a linear sequence of amino acids held together by peptide bonds that can only be broken by severe heat, severe acid, or enzyme hydrolysis.
Woo! You are awesome!
Excellent! And can you tell me the second structure? Proline.
Secondary structure. It's got 3 folding patterns. Alpha coil, beta sheet, and reticle coil. And they're held together by hydrogen bonds.
That was perfect. Methionine, can you please tell me about the third structure?
Well, certainly. It is a tertiary structure, and it is exhibited in globular and fibrous proteins. The tertiary structure determines the function of proteins. There are 5 different types of bonds in tertiary proteins: hydrogen, covalent, ionic, hydrophobic, and partial charges attraction.
All right, glycine, can you please tell me about the last structure?
Ma'am, the last structure is the quaternary structure. It is a complex or aggregate or 2 or more globular proteins, and they are held together by non-covalent bonds.
Nice.
You guys are excellent. Okay, so we learned that there are several factors affecting proteins, such as pH, temperature, and solubility. Can you tell me one of the important reactions that we learned about? Aspartic acid?
Denaturation. It happens when there is a change in the protein's native structure. When hydrogen bonds break, It causes partial unfolding, which can be reversible or irreversible. Breaking of hydrogen bonds is caused by heating, freezing, urea, pH, solvents, and salts.
Yeah! Superb. You guys are so smart. Okay, so we know that proteins can be classified 3 different ways: biological functions, solubility, and composition. Now, examples of biological functions are enzymes, which we know speed up the rate of reactions. We have storage proteins like casein and milk. We have structural proteins like collagen in your muscles. We have contractile proteins like myosin and actin, which are also found in your muscles. We have transport proteins like hemoglobin, which carries oxygen throughout your blood. We have protective proteins like antibodies, which help fight infections. We have hormones such as insulin, which helps level the balance of sugar in your blood. And we have toxins and allergens. Now, examples of proteins that are based on solubility and composition are albumins, globulins, glutamins, prolamins, scleroproteins, histones, and protamines. Did you guys get that?
Oh yeah.
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 You guys are so great. Okay. You guys have proteins covered. So we're going to move on to amino acids. All right. Who can tell me what an amino acid is?
Go ahead. We are the monomer unit of proteins. We come in D and L configurations, but all naturally occurring amino acids are in the L configuration in proteins. You girl. That's how it happens. As we know, amino acids have specific structures. On each amino acid, there is the amino group, there is the alpha carbon, there's the R side group, and there's the carboxylic acid group. Can anyone tell me a unique characteristic about amino acids?
One is that we're amphoteric. We can behave as an acid or a base. Another is that we're Zwitter ions, which means we can react with themselves to form an inner salt. A Zwitter ion can have an isoelectric point if the R group is uncharged, meaning that the net charge is 0, but it doesn't mean that they're uncharged.
Heck yeah, man.
Water.
Yeah. Losers. Yeah, water. So refreshing.
Magnificent. That was great. Okay, so we know that one of the most unique characteristics of amino acids is that depending on the R group, if it's charged or not, you guys are based into 4 classes. We have the polar uncharged hydrophobic group. We have the polar uncharged hydrophilic group.
Yes. Yeah, water.
Yeah,
We have the polar positive group.
Yeah.
And we have the polar negative group. And how many amino acids are there? 20! You guys are just fantastic. Let's take a lunch and recess break.
Yay, recess!
Yeah! I just love my children. They're the greatest kids. They're so smart and talented. They make the job of being a mother really easy. But you know, I'm not gonna brag on them anymore. So I usually teach 5 to 6 hours depending on how the children understand the material and how they're picking it up. After school, we find ways to pass the time because we're very conservative. You know, we don't have TVs or electronic toys. The kids get very creative. You know, some of them have jobs they go to. Some like to nap because we do have to get up early. You know, whatever they can find to have fun, and they usually have a great time.
Elmo loves you too.
is overfilled with joy and happiness. I just can't seem to collaborate my thoughts. I like his idea.
Yep. That was a good TV there. You see how one out there? What? Yeah. No, I'm just thinking he's just by himself with the soccer ball.
Okay.
Children! Stop it now! Oh, stop it! Don't stop it! Stop it! Come back, children! First try.
After working hard all day, it's nice to come home to a clean house and a loving family. Marjorie does a great job in keeping things neat and organized, and the kids help out a lot too. Usually when I get home, she has dinner already prepared. Most nights we just have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because, well, that's just what the kids love.
School was really long today. Everyone knew what they were doing. They remembered their lesson. It was a day. It was great. Good. I'm so glad.
Bread's made out of wheat.
We missed you.
Wheat grows in a used to moisture regime, which means that they get 20 inches of rain per year, which is awesome, because that's not very much rain, which means it's not a whole lot of water. And that's why I like bread.
It's strange, they only get those two.
I don't know about the jelly and the peanut butter, because they got a lot of water in them. Bread I'm good with.
No water.
Children, did y'all have a good day today at school?
She only cared about this. That's how we did.
Yeah, no.
Children. You know, I just love my life. I love my family. I really love being surrounded by the people that I care about the most. You know, some people may scoff or laugh at the way we do things and the life that we live, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much for visiting us in the protein home and seeing what our life is like. We hope you enjoyed your stay and that you'll come back and visit us really soon.
Yes, please come back. We need the money.
Bye! Bye! Come back see us! Bye, children.